Okay, I'm making sure we are live. Seeing something. Yes, all right. Welcome to Fireside Chat number 297. I think that's correct. Obviously took last week off due to Independence Day in the U.S. I am checking. The last one was 296, so that would be just about right. Okay. Yeah, so number one, July has kicked off, so that's our Festival of Hope. So you may see many people are wearing the HLS tag in their names. You're welcome to do that. That's to celebrate Hope's last stand. Best to ask an older member or ask in Meat Hall if you want to know more about that, but I've discussed it very briefly in announcements. We're going all the way back to 2002 for Hope's last stand, part of WA's history. And part of what made Saint Sanctifico the Conqueror famous. But as part of the Festival of Hope, one of the things we do is change our avatars, if you like, to the artwork of one of our Einarjar. Now, there's a link in announcements to the thread on the forums, which has high-res versions of the art, but if you need help with that, that's something I can help you with. As far as making an avatar, especially if you're in House Tippity and you have a special border around your avatar for your relic that you hold, I can edit that in and get you a new one quite easily. So let me know. Congratulations to Conundrum Warrior of the Month and to the Iron Fist and Guilty Gear are Platoon of the Month, and they've also just been upgraded from Rough Platoon to Full Platoon status, so they met the requirements and they're now official. So congratulations to the Iron Fist. That's the biggest news, and other than that, not a whole lot. Let's see. We had our officer meeting. So the notes for that are, of course, in event archives. Nothing crazy. We did talk about something we rolled out, mostly pertinent to officers, which is there's a new role that's auto-assigned by the Saga bot, which is our stat activity tracking bot. Basically, if you're even remotely active in the past 30 days, it assigns you a role that says monthly activity. And if you are not active whatsoever, nothing, no messages, no voice, nothing, it assigns a role called no monthly activity. So what that will do is just make it a lot easier for people to do the review. You can still do everything you can do before. You can check somebody's specific stats, but that way you can really just check the people in your platoon and see if they have the role. If they have the role, you know they're good. And it kind of saves a lot of time, so hopefully it will kind of speed things up. And the focus is intended to be less so on specific numbers and more so just like if people are active, promoting them. If they're not active, not promoting them or demoting them. That's kind of the focus, kind of bringing us back to old school how it was done. It's nice that we have these tools to be able to check stats, but being able to automate that so that we don't have to really spend a lot of time in the weeds down there figuring all that stuff out is, I think, probably easier for everybody. So no functionality removed, but hopefully the job made easier for most people. If you don't know how to do any of that kind of stuff, just feel free to ask in Command Center. You can ask me or any other CO, and we should be able to help you out. It's not terribly complicated. There is guides. For example, for doing roster review and such, it's there, pinned in Command Center, how to do it. So you can check that out. But other than that, yeah, fairly straightforward. Last thing, one thing we're planning on doing is there's already a new channel, but only some COs can see it right now. But basically the plan is to have an officer training chat channel on the server. So the way I've been doing it before is kind of officer training very one-on-one, which I think makes sense, but I think given that we have a lot of COs on LOA and it can be difficult, somebody, okay, we have to switch trainees from this person to this person, etc. I think it's going to be easier to work with everybody as a group, and then people can just post and everyone can proceed at their own pace still. And if there's things that need to be done individually, like the interview to complete the whole thing, the lieutenant requirement, that's very doable. We can do it through DMs. We can make threads in there for individual stuff. But for the most part, I like that it will kind of make all the upper level COs available to all the trainees, so we can sort of mix and match and If one person's not available, we're not left scrambling. Or one thing that happens a lot is somebody's training somebody and then they get busy and then their trainee is kind of left hanging, and then the pressure is on the trainee to go and find somebody else to do it, which it's probably not how it should be. Really, it should be that if you're on LOA, it's kind of your job to find replacements for the work that needs to be done. But this way, we can kind of all collectively work on it and hopefully make sure that people are progressing on time, assuming that they have the will and they put in the work to do it, which some people definitely have been. So, yeah, that's the plan. Expect if you're in officer training to be added to that channel with a new role, or if you're not in officer training but you're an NCO or you're an active member, we might be reaching out to you again. If we've already reached out to you in the past and you said no about officer training, apologies, but we probably will reach out again just to double check, simply because the officer training pipeline has been pretty inactive. So I'd rather that we ask somebody who's already declined and just say no again. If you're still interested, that's fine. But that way, I'd rather that than that there are people being passed over who are actually interested in officer training and are not being asked at all. Okay, so I'm going to set that up, but that is about it. I'm just setting up the role here so I don't forget. Oh, I already made a role. Whoops. Didn't realize that. Oh, so it's already set up. So I just have to give the role to the requisite people. So I will do that a little later when I will be around for my office hours in Sir Hall. See you then.